welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to learn how to automate a basic test case in Tosca. For that one, we are using one portal demowebshop.triscientist.com. This is one of the demo application which Tosca has provided to automate, which is open source application which we can use it to automate any test case. So first, if we want to automate a test case, where we have to create a test case in Tosca Commander. In our previous videos, you guys can follow and you can go through what is a workspace and how to create a workspace. Once you create a workspace, we can see these many different components which we have discussed in our previous videos as well. In that, we have first component here, we can see that test cases. If you want to create any test case, whatever test case we want to automate, all the test cases we have to maintain under this test cases component. So before automate any test case, first we have to create some structural way. So this is the main test cases folder which we can see. Under that, to maintain all our test cases, whatever we are going to automate, first we have to create a folder under this test cases component. Here we can see in second row, first option, create folder. Click on it. And here we can give the folder name. As of now, I'm giving my folder name is regression. So I want to maintain my regression test cases under this folder. So that is the reason I have provided some valid name, that is regression. Under this folder, if I want to create a test case, that means whatever I'm going to automate, whatever test case I'm going to automate, I can create under this folder. For that one, we have to right click on this folder. In second row, fourth option, we can see create test case. This is the option we have to select. Click on it. Once you click on it, here you can see new test case. We can provide the name. So I'm giving my test case name is TC1, test case 1. I want to launch the browser. I want to show that how to launch the browser. So for that one, I'm giving my test case name is launch the URL. I want to give launch the URL. After creating a test case, we have to follow the industrial standards. Whenever we are going to automate a test case, we have to follow some industrial standards and we have to keep it in a understandable way. So for that one, once we create a test case, we have to create 3 folders under this test case. First one is precondition. After that, we can give process or workflow. Whatever functionality we are going to automate, everything we can keep it under process or workflow or functionality. We can give it some understandable name. After that, post condition. So like this, we have to create 3 different folders whenever we are going to automate in real-time projects. So here, I want to show you simple launching the browser for today. But in coming classes, I can explain you what are the things we have to use it under process folder, under post condition folder. As it is a basic flow I'm going to show you. So that is the reason under precondition, I will keep it how to launch the browser and how to enter our URL. Okay. So here under this test case one, I'm creating 3 folders now. First folder is precondition. After that, I'm creating another folder which is process. After that, I'm creating another folder which is post condition. So as of now, what we have done, we have created a folder which is called a regression. Under that folder, we can create multiple test cases. In that, for today, I have created one test case, that is TC1 launch the URL. I want to launch the browser and I want to enter the URL, whatever URL I want to open it. So, but in real time, what we will do, whenever we are going to automate a test case, we have to create 3 different folders like this. In first folder precondition. Mostly what we will do, if you have experience in if you guys have experience in manual testing, whenever we write any test case, how we will write it? First we have to write the precondition. After that, after that we will in detail we will explain about the functionality based on our requirements. After that, post condition, if you want to close the browser or if you want to log out from the application and close the browser, those things we can keep it in post condition. So here under precondition, first one is precondition. Here I said that I want to launch the browser and I want to open this URL demowebshop.tricentis.com, which this is application provided by Tosca, Tricentis Tosca. So here to launch the browser, what should I do? So as I said in our previous videos, Tosca is a codeless automation tool. No need to write single line of code. Sorry. So here, if you want to launch the browser, in our previous videos, I told you what is a module and what are the different types of modules we have. In that, I told you one is the standard modules which Tosca has provided. If you come to the standard modules and come to engines, expand it. Under engines, we have HTML. Under HTML, we have one module called OpenURL. OpenURL is one of the standard module which Tosca has provided to launch the browser. Okay, if we want to use this OpenURL module in our test cases, what we need to do? Drag it, come to test cases folder, leave it under precondition folder. Once we come to here, you can see OpenURL. This is the module we have added. Here we can say that under preconditions, I have under precondition folder, I have added one step that is called open URL. Okay, this is the module we will use it to open URL. Now, once we launch the URL here, this module, what it is going to open? What it is going to do? In this value, I have to provide the URL name. Whatever URL I want to launch, that URL one I have to provide under this value column. This is it, like it shows like a text box. Here you can enter your value. Whatever URL you want to launch, you have to provide under this value column. Under open URL, we can see URL is one of the name. For that one, you have to provide your URL value. Whenever you entered this URL value, you can see we can see here action mode is input, data type is string. What are the different types of action modes available and what are the different data types are available? All these things we can see in our coming videos. Okay, so now I'm going to save my test case. Top left you can see there is a button called save your test case. Before running a test case, if you open your any applications, okay, please close it. Now come to your test case. So here, this is one step we have done, only launching the browser. Okay. So here, one more thing we should know how to run the test case. Okay. If I want to run the test case, how to run this test case? Select your test case. Okay. Right click and here you can see the option run in Scratchbook. Before running this test case, whenever you are running this browser, whenever you're running this test case, if you want to run this test case, where it's going to launch, which browser it is using to launch it, either Chrome or Internet Explorer or Safari, which browser it is using. For that one, this if you select the test case one, come to test configuration. There is a section called test configuration. Here we can create configuration parameters. Okay, to create configuration parameters, right click on your test case. Second row, fourth option, select test configuration parameter. Once you select that, here you can see the drop down. In from this drop down values, you can select browser and here you can provide value on which browser you are going to use to launch the application. So here I'm using Chrome browser. Select Chrome and save your test case. Now run your test case. Right click to run our test case, we have to right click. Here you can see run in Scratchbook. This is one option, or directly you can click on this button, run in Scratchbook. Okay, right click, run in Scratchbook. Test case is running. So browser is launched in Chrome browser. After that, here you can see the log, Scratchbook, open URL. Open URL. In log info, we can see that opened our URL in Chrome in a new tab. So this is the basic one, how to launch the URL, how to open the browser. Simple thing we have to remember, open URL is one of the standard module which we will use it to launch the browser. At the same time, we have learned another important concept here. What is this configuration parameter, which we have used here? Like select the browser, on which browser you want to launch the application. Thank you everyone. Please like, share and subscribe my channel for more videos.